Hello and welcome back to me playing Oxygen Not Included. This episode we're going to continue on with this system here to deal with heat in the base. I'm going to put two pumps here because I ultimately want to create a vacuum. It's going to be the temperature protection. So this is going to leak out up here. So we'll want heavy wet joint plate. Get that sitting right here. Heavy wet wires right there. Now I'm making this out of the heavy wet conductive wire just because I might not ever be in this central area again. This bottom area, these pumps are just going to be temporary. So I'm just going to make regular wire there, and we're going to put a transformer in to power them. Transformer can sit right there until a vacuum has been created. We also want to put in the actual aluminum piping that's going to go all around here. So the dupes at the moment still have access to get inside of this spot. And this is ultimately going to have an input and an output sitting right here. So we'll have an insulated pipe. This is taking the petroleum through. And this is going to be the vacuum area, so we won't need insulated pipe on this side. So this is going to circulate petroleum in and around here. And speaking of which, we should probably start the loading process for that. So I'm just going to do this for now, and we're going to connect this with my petroleum line. Let's find out where that is. Down here. So we want to tap into this. We can easily just make this go up. See if we can empty that ethanol line. Put it into one of these reservoirs. Let's do that. Come on, let's load. There we are. So the ethanol is making its way out. That's going to allow, because I'm not actually using that for cooling. Cooling is being used by this hydrogen, which is reaching the bottom of the base. But what I want to be able to do is have this go up like that. Be careful that I'm taking some stuff out in the process. Let's create a tile there. Let's create a tile there. So destroy, actually it wouldn't be a bad idea to have this as an insulated pipe. Whoops, probably, because it is pretty hot petroleum. So let's change that out before this hot petroleum starts going through. That doesn't need to be ceramic though. Nope, let's bypass that guy. We'll go from here. We'll cut this off because we don't want this to be connected to that or that. So that will feed petroleum inside that system there. And I only want about half a tank or so of petroleum to be sitting in there. I guess I need to flip this guy around. No, wait a minute. I'm up here. So while the dupes do that, let's look on this other world. Actually, got something to print. Is it anything useful? Draco or salt water? Let's bring in some eggs. Why not? So over here, we're getting crude oil to be created thanks to this oil well, and thanks to the aquatuner over here that's keeping it from overheating. Temperature is 60 degrees and continuing to push that crude oil out. So that's pretty much the main purpose of this base, is just to get that oil well running. We could create a second one. I don't think we really need to do that. Let's look at some of the zombie spores still in existence, so I'm not going into those spots just yet, though it's only in the liquid, which isn't as dangerous. But just making sure these dupes have something to do. Why don't we dig out more lead? We can bring that back to the homeworld. And a little bit of fossil too wouldn't be a bad thing. Check back here in the homeworld. Still working on that pipe. So we can design the inside of here a little bit more. So eventually, let's disable that. We don't need that on just yet. But we're going to have our future metal refinery sitting about here. And that's going to have an in pipe and an out pipe. Let's have a look at this one. So this is going to be our input on this side. Right now, petroleum is going in this direction, but in reality, this is going to go the other way when this is all said and done. Just going to create a tile system here to enclose all of this. Getting it ready for a vacuum later on. Okay. Well, do I see something that can't be built? I think that's too tall for the dupes. A couple different ways to do this. Either I could build a ladder, or I could knock out one of these tiles temporarily. But that's my power room above, so kind of don't want to do that. I don't think it's going to hurt to remove the glass forge. Don't need glass. Let's see if this guy. I don't think they will. Oh, it's just arrived first thing in the morning anyway. I'm curious to see if that I can get them to produce hydrogen, but I think they need to be in an environment that is non-breathable gas. So some bleach stone needs to be picked up. Good job, dupes. Let's make a ladder down here, because I can see this bleach stone is going to fall down here, and I want the dupes to be able to grab it before we fully seal off this zone. Let's make a priority of completing this, because I'd like to start the process of getting this filled up. Might actually move that transformer. Oh no, or maybe it's fine for now. But we need to make sure we get all if this area here is also going to be sealed off from the dupes, and I don't want them to be going back in. So I need to have these lines at least reaching this point, so that when this area here gets sealed off, the dupes are going to still have access to send stuff in and out of this. The same thing's going to have to apply to the automation wire. I need to have access to that outside the system. So I'm wondering if petroleum is on the way, or maybe we're still missing. Hold on. It's not supposed to be connected. Okay, yeah, that ladder is still needed, because the dupes are not tall enough. It'd be interesting if one of the traits of a dupe was a tall dupe. And maybe there were 3 tiles tall, though that might be complicated. I'm not sure what I really think of that, but anyway, just a random thought for the day. 2 more pips are needed. Another one to be wrangled over. And let's look to see if we have petroleum on the way. We do. Awesome. So as I said earlier, I'm going to get this to be filled up about halfway. And then we'll stop the loading of the petroleum. Also trying to design this such that I don't have material inside this zone, sort of like this piece of steel. So I might get the dupes to get that out before we go too far into this. This is going to be a little bit easier design once this thing is actually filled. Oh, suffocating. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's not good. That's not good. What material do you have access to? You have sandstone. Let's make a ladder out of sandstone right there. Artist, you can do it. Put in that, build it, and go get your oxygen. Right. Colony achievement earned. I'm not trying to get every achievement in this playthrough. This playthrough mostly is just about figuring out some of the new features inside of Oxygen in the Whatta Blast update specifically. I haven't really gotten to that yet, partially because the ability. Well, I didn't actually mean to do that. I already did this one, but I think it's a species somewhere, and it's not on this asteroid, so I'm not able to do it. This is also an asteroid that doesn't have meteorites, which is one of the other updates. So I'm gonna have to be patient and just wait. So you can get 5 tons of liquid inside of this guy. So once I get to be about 2.5, I'll tell this system to stop. The nice thing is I can now use my scissors, my favorite update in the Whatta Blast, and I can use that to stop the petroleum from getting in. So I still see this little piece. Okay, let's dig this out because I don't want to see troops trapped. Like we do right now. Oh, miner, you better get digging because I can always destroy this if they're in a real pinch. But I think they're fast enough digger. Yeah, they're good. Okay, so that is been resolved. Let's put all the things that are swept up here in high priority and tell the dupes anything that is dropped down here, especially the steel that's very useful. Well, let's go and grab that. We're above 2.6, so 2.5. It's fine if we have a little bit more. I'm not concerned about that. Let's now cut this off right here. That's going to stop any new petroleum from getting in. It's also going to empty this pipeline that's up here from having petroleum in it, so I can use it for other things. And it's not going to overfill this. So with that, I can now design this whole system. So imagine here if I've got my metal refinery, I'm going to have an output. Technically speaking, I don't need that to be insulated. Make sure I made that out of the right material. I did. Okay. So this is going to be the output, the very hot stuff going back into this system. So it's going to go into here, here, here. I want to connect these guys, but not actually. There we go. That's what I wanted. So this is going to feed in this direction. And we're going to create a path made out of aluminum. Aluminum is a really good insulator. Or no, sorry, excuse me, the opposite of the insulator, like conductive, which is what we want to have happen. I just have to, this is a little bit of a, to figure out how to best do this. So up here, I definitely want to have this insulated as well. So this is the input. This is the hot petroleum that's going to go up into this machine. These won't be needed anymore. And I have to have this go out. So let's just try something. Let's have it go like this. I wouldn't mind having it go through these bottom tiles, because when radiant pipes go through tiles, they interact temperature-wise with it really well. So this is where everything starts off. The petroleum is going to go out of here. Let's see, we need to get it to go into this machine. So what I'm going to do is use a bridge right at this location to send it up. And it'll fill that machine if it can. If it can't, it'll go in this direction and send it down here in priority order, such that the liquid that's going to come out of the equipment will be drained first. And I just haven't figured out this path, because when it comes out of here, it goes down to here. Oh, I missed this pipe here. So it'll go in an infinite loop once this machinery is full. It's going to come down here into here. And this is quite honestly a little bit complicated, especially since I put in these systems over here. I'm wondering if I actually wanted to do that, because I could put liquid shutoff down here and here. Let's see, there's got to be a way. Maybe it involves not going in. Maybe I just got to change the direction. Let's see. What if I did this? We send a radiant pipe up to here, up to here, up to here, down here. But we got to get this. The problem is this has to go. Wait. Yeah, this is perfect. This will work. This is going to work. So what this has us do, once this is completed, the petroleum line is going to go around here. It's going to heat up this inner area where I'm storing water, which will be future steam. Then it's going to make a pass over here, go into the industrial equipment, a metal refinery if it can. If not, it's going to make its way through here, all the way radiating itself that hot temperature. And I do have this guy here, temperature control, so I can read if this is getting too hot, if need be. Let's put an insulated tile right there. So I think that is everything that is set. I want to be very careful about this, because if I forget something, it's going to be very painful to do this later on. Also trying to think how I want to create a vacuum or remove the oxygen from up here, because I was going to seal this off. Maybe I'll make this out of steel just so it doesn't break in the future, though it's not essential. I'll just put in another pump. Now I don't want that pump to pump out steam though. How to do it? How to best do this? I could open this area up via a door. Let's do that. So we're going to put in a mechanized airlock right here. We're going to control it with an automation wire. We're going to make sure that's made out of steel so that it doesn't break, and open the door. Well, I guess if it did break, it wouldn't actually cause this thing to open, because the door being closed is a false condition. So that's going to be open when we start, allowing all the oxygen inside here to be drained out. And then once I have a vacuum, I'll manually close this door. We'll do it that way and see how all this goes. So we get 2 aqua tuners. They're going to be for 2 different processes. Okay, so that's the petroleum line going through. It's going to feed this metal refinery in the future, but otherwise it's just going to go in an infinite loop round and round, exchanging the heat with this area over here. Tell the dupes clear out this material because we're not going to be ever back in this zone again. I think that is it. We will now seal off this area. Double check that we've got pipes going. Oh no, hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's conceal off there, but we won't have this brought over. Actually, let's do this instead. The thing that's supposed to control these is temperature gauges. We could either put those before or we could do those after. We'll leave that outside the system and we'll worry about these guys down the line. Let's clean that up just because we'll destroy this ladder, though it doesn't really, wouldn't really care if that hangs around. Okay, so the door is open. One. Oh, don't bother doing the other one. Just let someone else waste their time running back and forth. They're not efficient in that perspective. All right, so we're gonna get that material brought out. I'm gonna be very careful to remember to close this thing. Let's enable this. Don't you go down here, Pip. Let's put a tile right there. No, okay, what did I just say? What did I just say? Someone wrangle it, Pip. And get them out of here. Okay, I'll have to ultimately decide what tiles I want to have sitting underneath this thing, because it's going to be more difficult, not impossible, but more difficult to change later. Thinking a gold tile just for decoration purposes. Maybe it's overkill, but when, oh, who made a mess? Are we out of water? Hold on, let's get one of these things. Lime. We are. Okay, where is? Oh, this is feeding this. Okay, we need to send you here to get more water to put into our washrooms and also produce oxygen. Crude oil is arriving from there. We've got a water line here. Oh yeah, that's just the remainder. So we're producing oxygen at the moment still because of this. But it's just a washroom. I should have some sort of alert system here actually. Tell me when the water is low. Otherwise this is just going to keep happening because I can't check on that constantly. Guess the dupes, you're going to have to do some cleaning up all around the base, unfortunately. Now, what do I do? What do I do? I guess we're just going to have to put some outhouses in temporarily. Because we have to wait a cycle for this polluted water to actually make its way through. Guess that outhouses, let's up that priority, otherwise we're just going to have more and more mess. Like that. And I know this is just going to keep happening unless I have some sort of automation. So let's look at that. That's going to be the automation layer. We want to sense the hydro sensor. Can make this out of lead. This point, if that ever gets too low, and if it does, we want to automated notifier. Put that right there, and we will connect these two. It's going to be very important. I should have made this a while ago. That's going to tell me when this water gets too low. And unfortunately, a little bit of mopping up is needed in various places. But at least we have these outhouses that'll do until this water moves around and refills the showers and the washroom and all of that. So that should be starting to load soon enough. I'm not going to ask the dupes to hold it any longer. That's why I've got the outhouses there, because we're not going to make it in that amount of time. So this guy here, I want to pause the game, zoom to it, and we'll say out of water. Tooltip, no water. So the game is going to pause, take me right to here, do a little alert. If, oh, in what condition? If this gets below, let's say 100, let's even do 200 to buy myself a little bit more time, kilograms, which it almost is right now. It is, well, no, it's 190, which means that's currently false, right? It's sending a green signal. So if this is, so how does this work? It sends a signal when it's true or false. I'm assuming when it's false. So we need to do the opposite of what you want, I think. Hold on here. How is this supposed to? Sending a red signal right now. But the game hasn't. Oh, have the dupes just not built this thing? Maybe. No, they have. Okay, we're gonna have to see about that because I really want to make sure that thing tells me we've got to test this out correctly. There. Okay, so it sends a signal when the truth condition is set, and I'm setting this to be below 200, and there it is. It pulled me to it, indicated there was a problem. I'm going to actually make a little noise. All right, now it's set up correctly to be able to send that alert. Okay, we do need to worry about water. So we've got this line here, which is ultimately going to be emptied. So we're going to have to connect in with this line. But I think that's going to do for this particular episode. Let's just finish off with starting the process of making this this vacuum. I'm going to put 2 insulated tiles here and here just because we've got some piping running through this. And then we'll start our vacuum. Now, that in order for that to happen, we need to vent out somewheres. I'll just vent right here and further down just in case it's needed, because I don't have a high pressure vent, though I could research that tech. Just one more tile and then we're going to have this area sealed off. Let's up the priority of that. So right now we have a power transformer, but I'm going to get rid of that in place of metal refinery. So there it is. 2 pumps are running. That's going to create a vacuum all around here. I'm going to close this door and we're going to push some liquid into this zone at that point. All right, well, thank you everyone for watching, and hopefully I will see you in a future episode where we will continue on. And I ultimately plan to get a Red Bolt engine together so I can explore some of the new features of this game. Until then.